All right, let's start with our accountability, and then I'll introduce our amazing instructor today. Trevor, you want to get us started?
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Oh, I don't, I'm just joining. I think I don't really know what I'm doing.
Have you
I
made
started
any
listening.
contacts?
Yeah, I got in touch with a few people. I put them into my contacts and all that. Couple of them are looking to buy commercial property. One of them says, in a not at the moment, but they're looking to buy in like a couple months, stuff like that.
Great. Well, that's good. Yeah, it's all about how many people you talk to. So even if they're not wanting to do business now, just spreading the word that you're in real estate now.
Yeah.
Caitlin?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, hi. I have done a couple of open houses that have gone pretty well. And then I'm door knocking my neighborhood right now for a food drive that I'm putting on this weekend. Yeah, so
Awesome. I love that.
thanks.
All right. And Tia's typed hers in because she's in a spot where she can't talk now. So I'll go ahead and introduce Nick. Sorry, I have like a no voice. Um, Nick West is one of our amazing ALC members out of the Eugene area. He has been in real estate with his partner for the past, this is your 4th year, right?
Yeah, this will be here for.
He actually started in the PC program as he got started. So he's been where you guys have been and has done an amazing job growing his business to be a part of the top 20% in production. With his partner, he focuses primarily on the sales, while his other half does the back end of things. And they really focus on a ton of community involvement, giving back in the community, volunteering. It's been really amazing to watch their business grow. And I will let him take it away.
Thanks, Mara. Hey, really quick. So Trevor, Tia, and Caitlin, where are we all located?
I'm in Eugene, Springfield.
Awesome, cool. Tia's in Astoria, and Caitlin?
I'm also in Eugene, Springfield.
Sweet. Okay, cool, awesome, great. If I haven't seen your faces yet, nice to meet you, and come say hi sometime. Okay, so today we are gonna do a session on following up with your leads and lead follow up. I'm gonna try and make this as interactive as I can. If you have any questions, feel free to just kind of stop me and dive in. I tend to kind of go fast. I tend to kind of be wordy, but just like I said, don't feel like you're interrupting me if I'm saying something that you want to touch base on or anything like that. Today, hopefully the goal with this by the end of it is we're going to talk about establishing our mindset, our goals for conversion, and we're going to talk about what a 36 touch is if you haven't touched on that yet. Okay, last time I wasn't here, last class we talked about tools for converting leads into contracts, strengthening relationships. We will extend the knowledge to include the follow-up of all of that. Before we begin, does anybody like have any success stories they want to share really quick? I know we just did accountability, but does anybody have anything awesome that happened in last week or this last week? Sweet. Okay, agenda for the day. Today, we're going to, like I said, talk about follow-ups. We're going to talk about designing a 36 touch for conversion. And we're going to talk about strategy to grow our number of contacts in our database. Sorry, I have a huge pile of notes. I'm going to pull open the slideshow here, and hopefully one of you can tell me if I'm doing this right, because I'm doing it with Keynote. Boop, boop. Can we see my screen? And is it all of Keynote or actually what you're supposed to be seeing?
We can see your screen, but we can also see like the sidebar with all of the numbered slides if you don't want that.
How about that? I always want you
There
to
you go.
actually see it. Okay, cool. Wow, so cool. I like lost my mouse now. Sweet. Okay. Okay, mindset. All right. Hey, quick question for the group. What mindset do we need to adapt to successfully nurture relationships with our contacts? Okay. Basically, again, no wrong answers here. Feel free to jump out and say stuff. The main thing is we need emotional proximity. So there's a stat out there that essentially is every 21 days, somebody forgets who you are. So your goal is to kind of be top of mind. You're not going to do business unless people are thinking about you. A lot of people get into the business thinking, oh, this is going to be great, easy money. People are going to call me all the time. But as we already know, that's not the case. You need to be out there doing what you can to keep yourself top of mind. Okay, have you guys seen this one before? The lead versus contracts? I believe you have. Do you guys know the difference between leads and contacts? A lead is a person that you may have never met, you haven't touched. A contact is somebody that you do know personally. With a lead, you might have the person's name and a way to contact them, but with a contact, you know more about them. You are going to know some info if they're a buyer, a seller, a first-time buyer, have done it 20 times, and you're ideally going to know a little bit more information about that person. I know that in KW language, we have a bunch of acronyms, but there's a big one, WI4C2TES. The C does stand for communication, seek first to understand. And that's kind of a big thing that you're going to focus on when you convert leads and strengthen your relationships. Oh, there we go. Leads are people you haven't met. And then contacts are people that you've actually engaged in. And you're going to have value based on that relationship. There's a quote from a Gary Keller book that basically says, focus on building relationships and take the market share. Well, of course, my phone is ringing. Sorry if that's coming through there. Is that ringing on everybody's end? I'm so sorry if it is. So when you start with mindset, today's conversation is tomorrow's transaction. So I'm sure already you've all heard the thing where basically if you do something today, you might see a result in 60 days from now. That has to do with, it's not going to be instant. You might get lucky and have somebody call you and say, I need to buy a house tomorrow, but that's few and far and few between, pretty rare moment. And most of the time you're going to have to be building those relationships to have that person want to trust you and go work with you. Here's another quote from Gary. Once you meet your new contacts, you either do business with them immediately or you don't. Either way, once you've met them, you put them in your database and you stay in touch with them forever. Do all of us have, and sorry, Tia, I cannot see if you're responding or typing at the moment. Does all of us have our command set up and are we working on building contacts in our command with our database? I'm hoping yes. Cool, awesome. Those people in your contacts, in your database, you put everybody in there. So anybody that you give money to, anybody that you know, people that you barely have met, just because they're in your database doesn't necessarily, they don't have to be like your mom and dad and best friend. Anybody that you have been in contact with or been part of their lives in each way, you put them in your database, because that gives you the ability to track, and it gives you basically the ability to, well, future we'll talk about this, put them on a smart plan, or basically track your touches that you're doing with this person. Let me go to this one here. Sorry, I'm looking at the student book as well as the facilitator book, and they're super different, which is super cool. I love that. Okay, if you take a look at this graph and compare it to the wave graph, boom, where every person in your database is on the wave of being ready to buy. In this graph, we have the lead generation phase on the left, where you're gathering and storing leads quickly. In fact, you can generate leads in days or weeks. Leads can, like I said, literally be a Facebook lead that you purchase. All it needs to be is a name and a number, right? On the right end of the graph, when you're doing the transaction, that part is also you're building strengthening relationships, because if you've done a transaction yet, you know that an actual transaction can take anywhere from 30 days to do the transaction to truly a year. You can meet people, touch base. In 6 months, they might be ready. They need to work on credit. They need to get all that. And then that whole time, you're still building a relationship. Does anybody know how many years it goes between people generally buying houses? It's about 7 to 10 years. So say that you sell somebody a house or buy a house, it could take them about 7 to 10 years to purchase or sell a house again. And in those, say people forget about you after 21 days, and then you can definitely imagine that if you're not following up or keeping your relationships, then they're definitely going to forget about you after 7 to 10 years. That's why it's really important to build these relationships that can be a lasting relationship. A lot of that does have to do with like a give and take, just like in like any relationship, right? But like I said, follow up is the big thing, because it's going to take a while for them to do another transaction. Also, everybody knows somebody. So say that person, after their 1 year, they're still thinking about you, then they know that if their best friend needs to buy a house or sell their house, you want to be top of mind and be the one that they go to. Okay, the goal from the last period was to convert leads into appointments, and you learned that every lead is not necessarily ready, able, or willing to actually go through with the transaction. When you encounter folks who are not ready for an appointment, you want to use follow-up to stay in contact until they are ready. If you had to guess, how many times have you agreed to be in someone's database when you are not ready to make a purchase? So think about like everything you've done. Like how many times have you signed up to get a coupon, right? That's that company or person's database. How many times did you want to get a coupon from Wayfair, sign up, and then you now know that every week forever, Wayfair is going to send you an email. It's not necessarily an email that you're going to open every time, but it's an email that you're going to get. You're going to see that subject. You might not even read it, but you know that at least they're thinking about you. Same thing with you to your clients. It's a situation where, like today, I was talking to an agent, great agent, really like her, and she was talking about her postcards that she sends out. She sends out one postcard a month, and then one other one quarterly. The postcard that she sends out a month, all it says is thank you for your referrals. She knows that people are going to get that postcard, look at it, and toss it in the trash. But she also knows that that person is looking at that postcard, seeing her name at least once a month. And this agent also, for the record, only works off referrals. Like that's all of her business comes from referrals from other people. She doesn't pay for leads. She doesn't pay for marketing. It's all done just through word of mouth. And she swears by that as one of her ways of making that happen. Okay, you talked about Mindshare before. Here is some fun facts. On the slide right here, you see that 74 to 75% of all buyers and sellers spoke with just one agent before choosing them to represent them. Okay, means 15% are the only people that talk to even 2 agents. That is a prime example of why you need to stay top of mind. If, oops, somebody, hold on, I got people in the waiting room. Let me get out of this, sorry. Hello, Cleo and Ahmed. Let me get this back to where you're actually seeing the full slide and not just my screen. Wow, now it's just covering everything. Fine, love it. Sorry. Okay, we're back. Sweet. So yeah, 75% of people, when they buy or sell a house, they are only going to talk to the one person, the one agent. If you're that one agent they talk to, the odds that you're going to get that deal are huge. Again, prime example of why you need to stay in mind. I can tell you personally that one time I have 2 examples. One that I am not proud of, right? And then another one that I am completely proud of. I got into this business about 4 years ago, right? I would say one of my best friends. I just assumed, oh, my best friend, we generally talk all the time. They know what I do. I did not necessarily reach out to them. This is me. I know they've never bought a house before. It was never a thing that I pushed to talk about that. Well, one day I saw on Facebook that her and her husband bought their first house. And I was genuinely like crushed. Like it really hurt my feelings, right? But I honestly can't yell at anybody but myself. When I did end up talking to her about it, she literally said, I didn't know that's what you do. They went to an open house, another agent was there and sold and did both sides of the deal just like that, because they didn't even realize that that's my job, right? And then another example is somebody that I barely know, and this is after that first one. They're on my email list, they're on my postcard list, and I just did it because we met one time at, I think it was Costco, and I was really feeling it that day, and we managed to switch business cards. This person is a HVAC, so they work in air conditioning, and I was saying, hey, if I ever need you, yada yada. I got their business card, put their business email in there. Sure enough, I think it was 3 or 4 months later, that person called me to help them purchase their second house. They already bought a first house. I don't know when. They didn't call their agent that they used before. Don't know if it was a bad experience or not, but because I was top of mind, that person reached out to me, and it was probably one of my best transactions ever. And we're still friends to this day. Now that turned that client into an actual friend. And I know that that person now is pretty much gonna, in a perfect world, and they're gonna recommend me anytime that it comes up because of the relationships that we've built. So there's one for that. Oh, there we go. So again, our clients never stop being contacts. If you got to continue to nurture the relationship with them after the transaction to remain in, again, that word, emotional proximity, and help them share, basically bring value to their lives. I have a question for the group. How many of you have asked a friend of yours when you need to go looking for either a new doctor, a new hairstylist, a new restaurant to try? How many of you have listened to your friends on that one? Or did you just pick the first thing that came up in an online search?
I always ask a friend.
Right, totally. Even if you find something in online search, you're still going to ask your friend. And if your friend says, this thing, you're most likely going to go with that one because there's a person in your life that you trust. For important services and goods, it's natural to seek a personal recommendation. Your contacts especially the ones who have bought and sold with you, are a great source for future leads. Again, if you're top of mind, because you're going to continue to follow up and give them amazing customer service, they will think of you first when someone asks them for real estate advice. Here's a fun fact. In 2021, NAR found that 40% of buyers who used an agent were referred to them by a friend or neighbor or relative. That number is 57% for first-time home buyers. So 57% of first-time home buyers exclusively found their agent through a family or friend, a person or a relative. And you should obviously be that person. I'm going to say, does anybody have any ahas? I think that's pretty self-explanatory. But if you do, feel free to shout it out, right? Okay, so you already know how important lead follow-up is, and you know how you can use 19 people to connect you to the one to get them, and that was from a couple sessions ago. Now I'm gonna talk about what, does everybody know what a 36 touch is? Or how about this? Have any of you not heard of the term 36 touch before? Sweet. I'm still gonna tell you what it is anyways. A 36 touch is essentially a plan that you have to where every single person in your database, especially your contacts, you're going to touch or reach out to them 36 times in 1 year, okay? That will then allow you to ideally not be forgotten about. Truly, a 36 touch is not an easy thing to do. I know very few agents that fully and truly use and utilize and have a true 36 touch. One of them is Mara. She has a great one. Mara plans hers out early on in the year, and it takes time, but then she knows everything that's coming up. I definitely recommend that's something that we do as well, which, like I said, we'll touch on. So this is essentially, I gotta clear my screen, I'm sorry. All of this is covering my screen up. So this is a 36 touch that's already been provided to you. This is one where, so look on the one on the right here, 36 touch. So 4 touches a year by telephone call, 26 biweekly emails. The email one is one of the easiest ones you can do with smart plans. And if you haven't researched or dug into smart plans yet, we're going to touch on that a little bit today, but also there's tons of resources for those. 2 touches are an event a year that you can do, client appreciation events. I know so many agents that have extremely successful client appreciation events. They can kind of cost money, but usually it's worth it. And then 4 touches are going to be a promotional material like a magnet or a market report, a calendar that you can send the people as well. Yeah, one of the tricks and pro tips with a 36 touch is it can't be 36 text messages, right? It can't be 36 postcards. It has to be a mix of phone calls, newsletters, events, market updates, other value-based products. You have to be offering a value, something that somebody would want, right? You can't just text somebody and say, don't forget about me, I'm in real estate. It has to be something that they can gain from this. There you go. Yeah. So a MOFR, make an offer for immediate response. Our messages for 36 touches should do 2 things. 1, build your connection to the contact by getting to know their needs and wants. And 2, elicit a response from the contact. So again, it's one thing to send a text that says, think of me for real estate. It's another to say, do you have any friends or family that need help with real estate? It's something that would elicit a response from that person. You don't want to just get left unread by them. Do you guys have any ideas of something that you could use as a offer for immediate response? So one that you could do is a GIF, right? Again, reaching out, just asking a question. If it's a huge one that you can also do, like, and this sounds so stupid and so easy, but it's something you don't think about, is literally just asking them, like, if they are aware of the market, you know, like when have they thought about buying or selling their house? How is their family doing? Things like that, like open-ended questions. It can't be something where the answer is yes or no. It has to be something where they're going to speak back to it. That is where you're going to get that connection built as well. Yeah, for that. Okay, so here's one. Here's some examples right here. If you're reaching out to somebody that you know is, you know, just like a cool lead, telling them, just reaching out to say, oh my gosh, hey, look, this awesome house just came on the market in your neighborhood. If you want to see it, let me know. If you want to, if you have a lender partner, which all of you should have a lender partner that you can bounce ideas up of, well, talk to your lender and see what they're doing for reaching out to people. People love to talk about interest rates. I'm not a lender. I'm a real estate agent. That's not my job, but people very much think that that's part of your job to start with. So just even starting that conversation and knowing a little bit about interest rates and like what a monthly payment can be is a great way to start. If you know a neighborhood, talking to that person about the neighborhood for you, coming up with a neighborhood report you can give that person. Just like I said, things that offer a value to it. Ooh, I'll show you my smart plan stuff too. Okay. Okay, we're gonna do some math here. So let's say if you have 200 contacts, if you have 200 contacts in your database and you put them all on a 36 touch plan, how many touches is that per year? Anybody? That's 7,200 touches, okay? So sounds overwhelming, but again, if you can break that down into being a combination of phone calls, postcards, obviously you're not doing everything all day, you're doing pieces of it per day, it's totally doable. Yeah, you break it down into smaller goals until you get to a goal that you can do. You know, one way to do it is say, okay, so I have these people, I'm gonna reach out to these 5 people today. And then you reach out to 5 more people tomorrow, 5 more the next day. In just those 3 days, you've already reached out to 15 people. After a month passes by, if you have more contacts, you can start adding another person to that first day. So then you do 6, then 6. And that's like an easy way to kind of like lessen it down. And like I said, those can be as easy as a text or a phone call. And then the other stuff, if you're putting them on email plans or postcards, then you're going to basically be able to, you'll hit that 7,200 if you have 200 people in your database. Did you guys all make a goal for the year? Like, do you have like a production goal for the year? If you don't, I recommend you should. And what you would do to get those people in there is, so you start with how many people are in your database that have contacts, people that you can have a two-way conversation with. So these are actual, not just leads, these are contacts. If you multiply that number of contacts by 4, that's how you can calculate how many telephone call touches you need to make per year. If you divide that number by 12, that's how many you need to do in a month. If you divide that number by 4, that's how many you need to do in a week. That makes it way easier to say, okay, I need to call 200 people every 36 times or get it right. Break it down per month, per week, and then that means how many you have to do per day. If you can make 5 phone calls a day to people, and again, these aren't like soliciting phone calls. These aren't like, do you have real estate needs? These are just reaching out, touching base, asking about their family, their job, what they're doing. You know, what have they been up to? These are super great ways to just find reasons to reach out to people. And then, like I said, it makes if you have that moment of being nervous, being like, I don't want to bug this person. You're not. You're literally calling them to ask about their family and how they're doing. Then you're not bugging them. Okay, this one I do want to hear if anybody has worked on this yet. Does anybody know what smart plans are in Command?
I've tinkered around with it a little bit.
Okay.
I've sent one campaign out, but it went to their spam. So I'm hoping at some point to figure out how to not do that, if there might be any way to get it to not do that. So yeah.
It's tough because it shouldn't, because the way that it goes through Gmail, it shouldn't be counted as spam, because even if you send out 200 at one time through SmartPlan, it should count as one per person. Some people just have their Gmail set wild. If you know it's going to spam, and if it's somebody that you have talked with and had a two-way conversation, feel free to reach out to them and say, hey, I put you on this neighborhood nurture plan just so you can see kind of what's going on in your neighborhood. If it's going in spam, just add me to your contacts there, and so that won't, right?
Okay.
It is tough with spam because I'm literally not joking. I had a Keller Williams agent. We all have Gmail. Send me an offer for a listing that I had to my Gmail, which is a Keller Williams, and it went to spam, and I wouldn't have even known unless they, right? And I was like, well, now I have to check my spam like every couple of days just because of that, which is something I didn't do before. That, I don't know, blame Google. That's not something that is our fault or your fault, right? Smart plans are great, okay? If you are in Eugene, I will say that I'm teaching a smart plan class on the 20th after our all partner meeting. I totally recommend you come to it, and I'm going to give you a bunch of smart plans for free that you can just use. They're all for free, but I mean, like, I'm just going to give them to you that you can use, and they're ones that I've made personally for our market. And smart plans are great because the way Command works is when they're on a smart plan, there's a whole timeline of everything that happens between you and that person. If you log in with your email on that as well, it'll even like tell you when you reached out to them just with an email or when they emailed you back. If you have, there's something called Twilio also, which is integrated into smart plans. What Twilio is it's a texting manager. It's not your own phone number, but it will also text people from you with your smart plan. Personally with mine, because it's not my phone number, I just make sure that every end of the text has a signature of mine that just says Nick West, Team West Homes, right? The amount of people that truly reply to a Twilio text that my CRM, my command sent them, it's pretty high. It's pretty cool when you have command text somebody happy birthday for you and they reply back, thank you so much. That's pretty cool because basically that just all happened on its own. Obviously you have to set it up, but you know, that did its own thing. Sorry, I'm just reading my notes here, checking over this. I just like sped right through that, didn't I? Okay, I'm sure we've heard of this one as well. I'm going to just close this so I can actually like just chat with you like regular people now. Okay, so feel free to turn on your camera if you want to. Also, then I'm not talking to blank boxes or myself. Okay. here's the end of the lesson, right? So the goal here is you want to strengthen relationships. You want to be top of mind of people. Thank you, Ahmed. Hi. Thanks, Trevor. Like I said, think of this one like a really smart lender told me this one time, that every 21 days you're going to be forgotten about, okay? Fact. You don't want people to forget about you. You want to be top of mind. It's reaching out and not just posting, on Facebook about your the deal you just did. It's reaching out to those people when they posted they got a new dog. Actually reaching out, interacting with them. Same thing back with you. When social media is a great way to strengthen relationships with people that you may not even have met yet. And a lot of that is going to be the actual interaction though. Does anybody have a business Facebook page?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I don't know, Caitlin, if you've noticed, when you post something on your business Facebook page, it's probably going to get like the least amount of play of anything you've posted. A, Facebook doesn't really promote that very much. And B, most people, even if they're following your page, it's just going to look like an ad to them. So, I know agents that, again, they don't even have a Facebook business page. Or say you do post one, then you're going to share that to your personal. You're probably going to get more play even with that. But then say you got, I got a new haircut today. Take a picture of your haircut. You're probably going to get more interaction and engagement with that than you're going to have posted a business page saying, look at this deal I just closed. So kind of keep that in mind too. When it comes to social media, I read a pretty cool book called What to Post, and it really put in your head kind of like a rule of 5. Think of 5 things that you that you care about. Okay, one of them is real estate. Make that one be real estate. But think of 4 other things that you care about, that other people care about as well. Every other post, you post those 5 things. So every 5th post should only really be a business post, a real estate post. The other ones, post about your garden, post about your kids, post about where you're going this weekend. You're going to get way more engagement that way, and you're going to be able to build these relationships for, like I said, people that you may not even have met yet. Does that make sense? Cool. I see a couple nods. Wow, this is funny. This wants you to do a role play thing. One thing that I also, because there's a big note in here about this, do you guys know about the do not call list? So it's one thing to call your friends, but if you are calling leads that you find online or people you have not met, you do want to check their number against the do not call list, because then you don't want to basically get in trouble with that. Yeah, like I said, I don't really worry about that so much because I'm not really doing cold calling with people. But if you are somebody that wants to do that, think about that. You don't want to get in trouble with like the FCC for calling people you're not supposed to. The other thing that I do want to truly like push for is Command Smart Plans. Use it. You're all KW agents. It is a free tool that we're given. It's been around for a while, and I'll be honest, when I first started at KW, I was looking at Command, totally Smart Plans. They didn't really work. I mean, some worked, it was okay, but it's a free tool that we have that is specific for us, and it's a really great tool. The fact that KW gives us the technology suite of being able to have a CRM with smart plans that can literally do a chunk of your marketing and communication job for you is awesome. And like I said, if you don't know what I'm talking about, or you want kind of like a one-on-one, feel free to reach out to me. I'm kind of a smart plan junkie at this point. If you're in the Eugene office, come find me. I'll put my number up here too if you want to just chat, or we can have a one-on-one about making you a smart plan. Like I said, I have smart plans in the public smart plan library. Feel free to steal those, and they can be great. Okay, I really just blasted through this, but truly a lot of it is, I don't think we need to break out into breakout rooms and do role-playing sessions about strengthening relationships. Does anybody have any questions for me? Like, what questions do you have about strengthening relationships and building your database?
I have a question about the agent that you said sent thank you for your referral cards every month.
Yep.
Is that a little aggressive, or
nope?
No, you don't think so? Or I guess
Nope.
my question was, do you know if that was her only touch that month, or was she also sending like other emails and other text messages and other calls? That was in addition to other
Yes.
things.
So this agent specifically, she does it's 3 to 4 touches per month. And one of those touches for every one of them is she basically went on Canva. She made the same postcard. Okay. She doesn't change it up every month or make it look different. It's the same postcard that she does for years. And all it says is thank you for your referrals. It used to say, I give me your referrals. Referrals are great for me. And then she decided, well, you know what? Like, I'm not really like asking for referrals. I'm telling them now, thank you for them. She keeps it the exact same. She does not change the format of it. And basically she knows that like people are going to look at that and say, okay, I got it. Great. Put it in their cycling. But she's basically putting putting like a task on her clients to give her referrals. And like I said, this agent exclusively, she has a client party once a year, and then everything else is agent referrals. She's been in it for a while, but like I said, again, if you can get a referral, somebody moving here or moving away, we're all part of the Keller Williams network. So the fact that you can just make money by having this person say, I'm moving to Tennessee, do you know anybody? Of course I do. I have 20 agents in Tennessee, I know. But yeah, and again, don't think it's aggressive, because think about how many, like, is it Wayfair? Okay, I gave Wayfair as a prime example because that's the first thing I think of, because I literally probably get 3 Wayfair emails a day. I've bought a couple things off Wayfair, but they're always one of the first places I check now. Top of mind, right? Yeah, I would personally say it's not aggressive. A lot of times we think we don't want to bug people, and it's true, you don't want to bug people. Like you don't want to bug people, but if you're offering something of value, you're not bugging them. Like you're helping them. You're literally offering to help. Yeah, it's not aggressive. I would say if you want to work on a 36 touch, that might be like a more advanced option, but I would definitely, if you're going to do a postcard situation, make a chunk of those just be the same thing, saying thank you for your referrals. Not asking, just saying thanks for them. Because then that person also might go, oh shoot, did I send Nick a referral? Well, maybe, okay. James wanted to buy a house. Cool. I'll give him James's number, right? Plus it's just a way to say, again, top of mind. And that's your whole goal, is you just want to be top of mind.
Right. Okay.
Does anybody else have any other questions? Like I said, I wasn't trying to like just blow through this and make it be fast. My main thing is, there's a whole facilitator booklet for this, right? And we can talk about stats and numbers all day long, but truly the name of this class is Strengthening Relationships. We are in a business of relationships, okay? The more people you know, the more deals you're gonna do. The trick is staying in contact with them. If you have 1,000 people in your database, but you don't reach out to them, what are you doing? You're gonna be upset while you're not having business. If you're doing it right, for every 12 people that you have in your database, you should be getting 2 deals from them. That deal might not be them buying or selling a house, but that deal could be them giving you a referral for their friend, their family member to then go forward and do that. And like I'm telling you, if you can make a 36 touch, and if you can make, or don't even start with a 36. Like if it's too intimidating, just start with something. Make a plan for yourself to be top of mind, to reach out. Again, for every 12 people, you should be getting 2 deals from those 12. And if you're doing it right, and if you're touching base and reaching out, offering something of value, go for it. You're gonna get it. Yeah. Would any of you be interested in a smart plan? So like I said, I'm in Eugene. I'm doing an in-person class for
Yes,
smart
I'm
plans.
interested.
You're in
I'm
Eugene,
interested,
correct?
Nick, yeah.
Cool. Perfect.
No, I'm in Portland.
You're in Portland.
Hillsborough.
Oh, cool. Oh man, I did a deal in Hillsborough one time during COVID.
Good.
Whoa, I've never written so many offers, because I mean, people all of a sudden in COVID just wanted to live in Hillsborough.
Yes.
Crazy. I'm not kidding you. We got lucky number 9. We got accepted. And these are now lifelong friends. The only reason I did that deal was because they're really good friends. I don't live in Portland, but I was like, well, I get to see them every weekend for a while. So that'll be fun.
That's cool.
So honestly, I'll be honest to you. I feel like sometimes we don't really have, there's a lot of talk about Command and smart plans, and there's so much stuff in Command, and sometimes smart plans kind of get dropped off a little bit.
Yeah.
That's why I'm doing this in-person one in the Eugene office. I will totally talk to Mara and see if we can come up with some sort of just one-off, and I'll try and do like a little smart plan thing if you guys want to. Like I said,
Yes.
I have smart plans in the library that I have made that you can go in the library and find ones from New York, but they don't really apply to us here.
What is the name of the smart plan on the library?
So, okay, if you go in there, I'll give you a list of my favorite smart plans.
Oh yeah.
Birthday. Okay.
What is it?
Every contact you have, you should know their birthday. It's pretty easy to get someone's birthday these days with Facebook. So I have a birthday smart plan that reminds me to send them a birthday card a couple days before their birthday. It reminds me to text them on their birthday. It reminds me to put a social media post on their wall on their birthday. The text is automatic. That happens automatically with my Twilio account. It's literally $3 a month for 300 text messages, which I don't think I've ever used that many in a month. That's my favorite smart plan and one of the easiest ones to do. The other smart plans that I always do every holiday, every holiday, make a smart plan, get a smart plan for the next upcoming holiday, put every single person that you have in there with their emails. All that is going to do is just give them an email that says happy blank day, right? It's coming from you. It's just a way of touching base. I have a smart plan that I made that's a first-time buyer smart plan. It's very wordy. It's I think 10 emails, one every other day, that goes to a first-time buyer. But first-time buyers are going to have the most questions for you. I love working with first-time buyers because you're basically coaching them and educating them just as much as they are you at being a therapist. That's a really good one. Those are my probably top 3. My top 3 are those. I'm working on a full 36 touch smart plan. It is proving to be really challenging to just do it in Command, but I'm working on that. And if that's done, I will share that with you as well.
Okay.
One of the cool things about Keller Williams, which I'm sure you've all gathered already, is there's so much education and there's so much networking and help that you can get from other agents. Yes, we're all in competition with each other, but there's enough business to go around. So I'm more than happy to share my smart plans with you. All you have to do is change the name at the bottom from my name to yours.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, that means you can share it through Command.
So when you go in Command, there is your smart plan tab. And then in there, it says the library, and there's thousands and thousands and thousands of smart plans in there.
But how can I find your smart plan on the library?
Mine specifically, you search my name, Nick West. I only have a couple on there right now because I'm basically setting up a new command for this class that I'm doing. So I will reach out to you specifically. I got your
Okay.
name there, and I will let you know
Sounds
when I
good.
have more on there. And like I said, you're more than welcome to take them.
Thank you.
Like I said, I'm a true believer in smart plans as far as building that relationship. Having a client party, again, it's kind of a big deal, but if you can manage to throw a friends and family party, like just once a year, like an appreciation party, it really does go far. That's a great way to build a relationship. Just an appreciation party for people in your life. And again, then you're giving something worth value, right?
Yes.
Even if they don't come, it's the invite that means a lot. Does anybody have any other questions, or is there anything else that I can answer for you? I hope that I was able to share a little bit. Like I said, I you're in the business of relationships, right? So again, like we can role play and practice all we want for this, and just kind of I could go on for probably hours talking about how to do this. A lot of it is not gonna happen on its own. It's something you have to do, right? You have to be the one to reach out. Again, but when you schedule that and when you factor that in as that's part of your job, it doesn't seem like a challenging thing. In fact, like it's pretty easy, right? You're talking to a friend.
Thank you very much. This was great.
Thank you.
Okay, cool. I will put my info in here. Whoa. If I could type right. That is my email address. My phone number is that. Feel free to text or call or email me if you have any questions about any of this stuff, right? Like building, like I said, strengthening relationships is one thing. You can talk about it all day long. If you have logistic questions, I've done it all. Okay, I've done so many. I've bought the leads. I bought the postcards. I bought the website ads. I've done it all. I can tell you like the things that I had reactions with, the things that I got no response with, the things that I were good spends of money, the things that were a total waste of money. I can tell you, utilize Command. You already pay for it by being a KW agent. It's a huge tool that we are given for free, and it's something that is underutilized. And like I said, the logistics of it, it's not that hard. It's just kind of confusing to start with it. But yeah, if you have any questions or if you're in the Eugene office, stop by and I would love to chat.
Thank you, Nick.
Yeah. Does anybody else have any other questions or anything? Cool. All right. Hey, thank you guys for listening to me rant for an hour. I appreciate it. And yeah, like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out and call me. Bye.